And from there, I'm going to show you a protocol using all natural ingredients. Now, I've used this protocol since 2019, so it's been over 5 years I've used this. I still use this protocol once a week. On a weekly basis, I still do this protocol. The reason is I want to keep my digestive system clean. I want it to be as strong as possible. I want to be physically fit. I want to be having that calm awareness inside. And back in the day, I just wanted to lose weight, right? But you're gonna go on so many different journeys. When you're on this detox journey, you're gonna go from one protocol to the next, and then along the way, you may find other problems with your body, and you're gonna fix those too. So I'm gonna take a sip of water and we'll get started. So when we're dealing with chronic constipation, we cannot evade this chart. We need to learn how this chart works. Most people, they have no idea what is your digestive system, what is it all about. So give me 1 second. I'm not sure if I'm actually doing the right thing. Okay, that's working. I'm also streaming on other platforms, but I don't have the chance to look at them right away. You guys can still leave your questions. That's perfectly fine. And that's going to help me kind of navigate through on this presentation. So looking at digestive system, you have to understand we're categorically the same across the board. Doesn't matter who you are, where you live, what your religious background, your political beliefs, none of that stuff matters. Food enters your mouth, down the esophagus, into your stomach. Inside your stomach, you have your digestive enzymes breaking down the food. Then food gets pushed into your small intestines for nutrient absorption. Your small intestines is very, very long. It's 4.5 meters in length, roughly 15 feet. Followed by your large intestines, which is another 1.5 meters in length. Total combined, you have 6 meters of pipework. That's how long your digestive system is. Now, I want to give you a little bit of insight. So some of you may like basketball. I always try to explain this through basketball. Okay? So from the floor to the basketball rim is 3 meters off the floor, or roughly 10 feet. Okay? So when it comes to your small and large intestines combined, it's like having 2 of them. That's how long it is. You see this combined height? If you have one NBA hoop stacked on top of another, this combined height is the length of your small and large intestines. And many people, through years of eating, they don't know how to clean out this pipework. And their chronic constipation just gets worse and worse over time. Chronic constipation is like this. This is a picture of your colon. The colon is compacted with fecal matter, hardened fecal matter, having a difficult time exiting. And over time, it's just going to continue to dilate. Now, when your elimination is incomplete, residues of all feces, they're building up in layers on the walls of the colon. As they putrefy, they can cause health problems, pain, and discomfort. Many of you, that's what you're experiencing right now. You're experiencing a lot of pain and discomfort from chronic constipation. My goal is to make you guys be aware of this as early as possible. Some people, they think that, oh, I don't use the bathroom, 2 to 3 days at a time, 4 to 5 days at a time, and they think somehow that is normal. You want to catch this problem early. I'm going to teach you guys a lot of practical pessimisms later. And this is many of y'all, you are huffing and puffing on that toilet. You're straining, you're trying to make something happen, and nothing is happening. After all that work, you have a small little pebble that remains in the toilet bowl. And you may be wondering, where did all the food go? Well, it is still somewhere trapped inside your body. It didn't just somehow disappear. Okay? So over here, I just wanted you guys to understand a little bit about human physiology, that we all have the same digestive system. When you have chronic constipation, more than likely you have waste material backed up in your large intestine inside the colon. and you got to get this thing resolved. If it doesn't get resolved, you're going to have other problems, not just in the large intestine, but also in the small intestine. The inflammation is going to be all up and down. Maybe an easier way for you to understand your digestive system is simply looking at this pipework. Okay, so over here, this is just a diagram, but it's going to help you understand how your body works. Food enters your mouth, down the esophagus, into your stomach. Over here, you have your stomach enzymes breaking down the food, and food enters your small intestines next. Small intestines, nutrient absorption, okay? And eventually, it's going to get pushed into your large intestine. Large intestine, you have 1.5 meters in length. This is fecal formation, and out the back for elimination. That's all it is. It seems very simple, but your doctors, whoever you go to see, they always try to complicate this because they're looking at a series of symptoms, looking at different problems you may be having, which I will discuss in detail today. And they don't really explain to you how this whole thing is constructed and how you can possibly clean this thing out. Why don't we begin to learn with a fresh slate? Begin everything with a fresh slate, and that is by cleaning your small and large intestines combined. Because if you don't, it's going to be very problematic for you. A lot of you just keep pushing this off, you're going to end up with a toxic megacolon. You're going to have a colon that is completely dilated, and you don't think all that waste material is going to cause other health problems in your body. Of course it will. So you got to fix chronic constipation early. The way that we do it, and the way I've been doing it, is through the Saltless protocol. Now, you may find other protocols online. The proportions, my protocol is very different than most other protocols you find online. Not only that, it's also the way how I drink it. It's also very different. I want you guys to pay attention to these small little details. I want to explain this as to the best of my ability so you guys can do this on your day off, okay? So over here, you want to get a couple of things from the grocery store. You may have these items in your house right now. You need apple cider vinegar. This is apple cider vinegar without any sugar added or infused with any fruit juices. Next, you're going to work with some limes, lemons, or grapefruit. These citrus fruits are going to help you. I highly recommend using grapefruit for taste. Now, if you're on lots of medications, you may have drug interactions with grapefruit, so you may just have to stick with limes or lemons. Next, you're going to get yourself some fine-grained pink salt. Okay? Fine-grained pink salt. Now, if you do not want to use fine-grained pink salt, you can look for Epsom salt. Over here, this is pure Epsom salt, and it's got to be food grade. If you just search for Epsom salt online, most of it is for soaking purposes. It's not for consumption. So you can choose between pink salt or food grade Epsom salt. This is this black coffee prepared separately. It is completely optional. I'd also want you guys to put together a kit. This is kind of like a detox kit you can use every single week, because you're not going to be searching all over the kitchen trying to find all these different things because it's all kept in the same bag or something. Get yourself a bottle of water, about 2 liters in volume. Over here, this is a metal mesh strainer. Single press squeezer for your limes, lemons, or grapefruit. Over here, these are just measuring cups, but you can also get yourself another set of measuring cups so you're not always looking for a measuring cup somewhere in your kitchen. This is apple cider vinegar. This is pink salt I bought in bulk. Over here, this is a stainless steel thermos. I highly recommend using a stainless steel thermos. Over here, this stainless steel thermos has a volume over 1 liter. Next, going to get yourself another cup for your black coffee. Optional, but this cup is also stainless steel. Just make sure you get some type of material that you cannot break, it cannot shatter, it won't have any thermal shock, okay? Such as glass can get thermal shocked. So this is what you guys got to work with. You want to work with a set of ingredients. and then put together this kit. Put it in the bag so you can use it week in, week out. When it comes to detox, it's not something you just do every once in a while. You do it once every couple of months. I think that's a mistake. How often do you brush your teeth? You don't just, oh, I feel like it when I wanted to brush my teeth, I just do it when I feel like it. No, you brush your teeth every day. When it comes to your detox protocol, you want to be doing this once a week or once every 2 weeks. I still do this every single week just to keep myself completely free of trash from the small and large intestines. Now, this protocol is the protocol that you drink down. This is not an enema. Okay, now I'm going to teach you guys how to mix everything in the stainless steel thermos. So over here, you have the set of ingredients, you have bottled water, and now we're going to mix all these ingredients in the stainless steel thermos in this set of directions. These set of directions are important. So there's a little bit of a fasting period the night before you're finishing dinner around 7:30 p.m. You can still drink liquids, but you cannot eat any late night snacks. Do you guys understand? You're not going to be eating any late night snacks. Water is okay. Next morning when you wake up, same thing. You can still have some liquids, but you cannot eat any breakfast. Do not eat breakfast. Okay? One more time. Let's just say if you're doing the soft flush protocol on a Saturday, Friday night, you're doing the prep work already. Finishing dinner around 7:30 p.m. Next morning, okay, at 11 a.m., also on an empty stomach, you're going to make this in the stainless steel thermos. Inside the stainless steel thermos, you're going to add 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of pink salt or food grade Epsom salt. So that's 25 milliliters of salt total. So it's a lot more salt than what other people are recommending, but this is the ratios that I found to be the most consistent. I've taught the same protocol to my own family members, and I have taught this to hundreds of people all around the world in different languages. And I can hand this recipe to a complete stranger, and most of them will be very successful their first time if they follow my set of directions to a T, with the proportions, and also they follow my directions to a T where they drink it in a certain way, not rushing it through. You're going to cut and squeeze 3 lemons or limes or 1 grapefruit. You're going to filter it through the metal mesh strainer. Notice over here, you got to filter whatever you squeeze through here through the metal mesh strainer. You do not want to have any seeds or any pulp. Okay? That's very important. You're going to add a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, also in the stainless steel thermos. You can also think about pouring it through the metal mesh strainer, because sometimes when you're dealing with apple cider vinegar, there may be debris that is also caught. You don't want that. Next, you're going to add 2.5 cups of hot water, and you're going to begin to stir. Stir up that stainless steel thermos very, very thoroughly. You can take 30 seconds, 45 seconds. You want to make sure all that salt dissolves evenly in the stainless steel thermos. Okay? So over here, remember, it's 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of that fine grained pink salt or food grade Epsom salt. Okay? You can choose either or. Over here, you're going to add another cup of hot water and stir. Okay? So the solution, you're going to be dealing with roughly a liter of solution, the soft flush solution. So you get the water bottle here, soft flush solution, and the black coffee. Throughout this presentation, I may kind of go around, looking for different questions that people may have. If you're here on this call, let me know. I see somebody on my Twitter. Where are you from? It'll be much helpful if I can get some feedback from this presentation, so I can learn where you guys are coming from and different needs that you may have. All right. Now we have the preparation completely prepared. This is black coffee prepared separately, and the black coffee, do not prepare it with any sugar or cream. This is black coffee, hot black coffee. The temperature of the sulfur solution is going to be about the same as hot black coffee. You do not want a cool solution. You want a hot solution. The salt flush solution's got to be hot. Now I'm going to teach you how to drink this down slowly, because a lot of people mess this up too, because there are different protocols out there. They're asking you guys to rush down the salt flush protocol. I don't do any of that. Over here, you're going to take a tiny sip of this water, hold it in your mouth. Then you're going to take a slightly bigger gulp of the salt flush solution, drinking it down. Then you're going to take a tiny sip on the black coffee, okay, to reward yourself with a familiar taste. That's the steps you want to go through. Want it over here? Take a tiny sip of this water, hold it in your mouth. Very, very tiny. Next, you're going to take a bigger gulp of the salt flush solution, drinking it down. And then take a tiny sip of this coffee to reward yourself. When you first start drinking the salt flush solution, it's going to be very, very uncomfortable. It's going to take nasty. Don't worry. You guys can go buy yourself a stainless steel straw. Getting yourself a stainless steel straw will be very helpful. Help you avoid the taste a little bit. Now, everyone's a little bit different. Some people, it doesn't bother them at all. But you guys can get this just in advance. And do not use any items that you can break, because as you're drinking this down, it's going to create a very laxative effect later. And as you do that, you don't want to be knocking things over, run into the bathroom. If you get shattered glass all over the floor, now you're going to slip and fall, and you're going to fall on the broken glass and end up at the ER. That's why I tell you guys, do not use any items that can break. Anything that I share, none of this is professional medical advice. None of this is treatment. You are responsible for your own health. Okay? Whatever happens, you're responsible. You guys can capture this. Over here, you're going to sip on the bottled water, hold it in your mouth. Take a bigger gulp of the salt flush solution, drinking it down. Then you're going to sip on black coffee, completely optional, repeating steps 1 through 3. But your goal is to finish the salt flush solution first. You can take 45 minutes, 1 hour, an hour and a half. It doesn't matter. People always want to race through something like this, like it's a race. It's not a race. You don't want to make any plans in the afternoon with your friends. You're just focused on doing your salt flush protocol, and you're just waiting for the laxative effect. That's it. Okay? Over here, I just want you guys to learn how to relax, and the way that you do that, you want to listen to some classical music or your favorite relaxing music. This requires relaxation and also taking your mind off of the end result. As you're drinking this, it's going to come down through your esophagus into your stomach. You got to keep your stomach empty, right? If you eat breakfast, this is not going to work, because you have all this food caught up right here. It was in the small intestines. So those I told you guys to keep your stomach empty. As you're drinking the salt flush solution, you got to be as relaxed as possible. If it's not relaxed, the pyloric sphincter will not open, and salt flush solution is going to keep backing back up on your esophagus, and you're going to have this throw up feel. I want you to avoid that. The way that you avoid that is simply listen. You just pace yourself drinking this. Do not rush. You can take 45 minutes until you're relaxed and you're breathing in a nice rhythm. Your stomach can rise up and down. That's how you're going to be able to get the salt flush solution gradually released inside the small intestines first. Your small intestines is 4.5 meters. It is very long, and it has a surface area of a football field. It is encrusted with so much fecal matter, so much trash you've eaten all over the years, and we got to get it all out. Now, after you finish drinking the salt flush solution using the set of ingredients that I just told y'all, Over here, there's going to be a poop milestone. So once again, tiny sip, bigger gulp, tiny sip. You're not trying to finish the water and the sulfur solution together. No, you're only trying to finish the sulfur solution first, so they can be inside your stomach, begin to do the cleaning work. The sulfur solution, if you drink the water along with it, you're going to water down the sulfur solution, and you may not get that laxative effect that you're looking for. I've done this hundreds of times, guys. I made so many mistakes in the beginning, and now this is the most consistent, not just from the proportions that I'm mixing it in and the set of directions I'm telling y'all to drink it, so you guys can increase your probability of success. Now, when you're in the bathroom, you're going to have the sensation you want to use the bathroom. Over time, you're going to go to the bathroom and the solids are first going to come out, okay? Just like normal. Now, they could be very, very hardened because many of you have an encrusted fecal matters in your large intestine, and when it comes out, it may come out very, very hardened, and it may come out completely pitch black, like charcoal, like my t-shirt. It just depends how messed up you are. But all that waste material is going to exit, and over time it's going to transition over to soft poop. Then it's going to transition to really, really soft poop, okay? When this happens, I want you to increase this water pressure. I want you to continue to drink from this water bottle, which will increase more water pressure at the beginning of your digestive tract. So what happened? You get the waste material out of your large intestine. Next, it's also cleaning out the small intestine, all that waste material spewing out. The sulfur solution is also spewing out. Yes, the sulfur solution that you just drank earlier is also in the toilet. Now you're putting down more water. You kind of like take this opportunity to flush out even more debris from both the small and large intestines. That's why you're drinking on this water. This water is just going to rush through the stomach, rush through the 4.5 meters, because right now there's nothing there, right? And all that waste material is just going to spew out into a diarrhea tsunami. You're going to blast out so much waste material. It's going to be unbelievable. Most people, when they watch me do this presentation, they don't believe me. They think that this is just exaggeration. This is hyperbole. This is what they've been praying for, okay? If you're watching this, I really pray that you find this video, because many of you, you're chronically constipated. And this is the beginning part to your health recovery. You need to get the waste material out first, comprehensively. And once again, this is not just something that you just do one time. You need to be doing this very, very regularly and find your own rhythm, okay? When you're on the toilet, I highly recommend you guys also get some type of a stool. Having a stool, that's going to help you get into an elevated position. Many of you, you are sitting on this 90 degree, and the 90 degree, that's what's causing a lot of chronic constipation. In addition, this toilet seat, it is also pinching on your butt cheeks. Pinching on your butt cheeks is going to squeeze on your anus, and you're wondering why you can't poop. Many places in the world, they're installed squat toilets. They're not installed this modern toilet. And if you go to those places, they have a much easier time getting the waste material out of their body. So it doesn't matter if you buy a stool, it doesn't matter if you make yourself a stool, or you just put together a cardboard box. You can get this done, okay? Next, what I want you guys to do, first of all, you're drinking this water, and the color of this exit material should become lighter and lighter and lighter. That's how you know you're really cleaning out this whole pipework comprehensively, both the small and large intestines. And after it becomes lighter and lighter, you can relax, you can stop drinking the water bottle, and just don't do anything, okay? You don't want to make any plans, because if it's your first couple of times, you don't know what to expect. So the first thing I want you to do after you relax I want you to take some probiotics. Now, everyone, you got their own flavor. I don't know what kind of probiotics you use, but I recommend you guys get some type of probiotics that's going to help you get this done. Okay, you want to recoat it back up. Probiotics will create a microbiome. It's like a protective layer over your small and large intestines. It's going to help you digest, going to help you eliminate waste material. As you're drinking this water, you're actually also flushing out a lot of probiotics, also electrolytes. So the next thing that you want to do, you want to replenish your body with electrolytes. This could be coconut water, this could be watermelon, okay? You can also find things with sodium chloride, potassium, magnesium, calcium. You can add a little bit of pink salt to your coconut water to replenish your minerals. This is something you should do on a regular basis, not just for your detox protocols. A lot of you don't take good care of your health, and because you're missing electrolytes. You're so devoid of electrolytes, okay? So that is the first part of the presentation. I want to ask if you guys have any questions. If you're asking on my Twitter, okay, just let me know if you guys are actually here. Be very helpful. Let me know if you're any questions. I'm going to check across my social media. Maybe there are people. Oh, somebody's on my YouTube. Who's on my YouTube? Is it Lola? If you have any questions, just let me know, okay? You guys can ask me different questions. Or if you're very brave, you can consider joining me on the Zoom call. And I can kind of hear what your problem is, and I can kind of guide you. If I can't guide you, then I'll refer to somebody else that can, okay? But I want to make that available for anybody that may want to come on and ask me questions. So who's on my Rumble? If you're on my Rumble, you can also ask me questions. So that's the very first part of the presentation where I talk about what is chronic constipation and how do you resolve it. This is a solution that you drink down, not an enema. Now, some of you may have severe problems. Your colon is completely messed up. If you are honest with yourself, you're like, you know what, my colon's probably like this, and I'm not getting a full exit of the waste material when I use the bathroom. You may have to work with a colon hydrotherapist. So colon hydrotherapy, you got to do your own research and see if it's the right thing for you. So over here, if you go to colon hydrotherapist, they're going to have you lay down, have you relax on this apparatus. You're going to have your feet kicked up, and in this position, the colon hydrotherapist, they're going to put hot water in your back end to get the waste material out. Okay, so this is just a diagram, but this is what they're going to do. They're going to put in hot water. The temperature of this water is going to be about the same as your body temperature. Once get that waste material out, because a lot of you may have encrusted fecal matter and it's very stubborn, and your colon has all these different ridges in it, and that waste material is caught between those ridges. Putting this hot water in, it's going to loosen up that waste material. Now, you got to communicate very well with your colon hydrotherapist, because there's always a risk if you do any type of detox protocol. If your colon hydrotherapist is putting in this water pressure too quick, you may get a perforation in your colon. You get a perforation in colon, your waste material is going outside of your colon, outside of your digestive tract, and your body may go into sepsis shock. You may end up at the ER. Look, very few people come back from sepsis shock. That's all I'm saying. There's always a risk if you do any type of protocol. Doesn't matter if you're doing a colon hydrotherapy. Doesn't matter if you decide to do a selfless protocol, or if you find another protocol online. And I can guarantee you, there's definitely a risk if you do absolutely nothing. And that's what most of y'all, you're just, I don't know, kind of letting things sit, right? You think that things are just going to get better, or you are talking to your GI doctors. They've been prescribing a whole bunch of different laxatives, prescription strength, PPIs. You've run all these different tests, but you're still chronically constipated. You're still not going to the bathroom on a regular basis. And you think somehow it's just going to go away on its own. No, it's not. You're going to end up with a toxic megacolon. This is very, very life-threatening, inflammatory bowel diseases. Over here, this toxic megacolon is characterized by swelling and dilation of large intestine due to the inflammation and accumulation of large amount of gas and fecal matter. Okay, let's just be honest with ourselves. What's inside this colon right here? It's all the McDonald's, Burger Kings, Taco Bells, Domino's Pizza, okay, Pizza Huts, or your Kentucky Fried Chicken, or your Costco food samples, your frozen pizzas, your freaking Hot Pockets, your 7-Eleven hot dogs. Just basically things you've eaten all over the years and it's not exiting out of your body. It's still somewhere trapped inside your body. Believe me, okay? And the doctors may examine you. They're like, listen, your colon is completely diseased. We're going to have to remove it completely. We're looking at the colon of the human body. This did not come out of some other animal like a silverback gorilla. No. This thing came out of a human being. And that could be an outcome you'll be ended up with, because you don't fix chronic constipation early. Now, they have so many procedures lined up for you. Let's just say if they remove certain parts of your colon, I'm going to share with you what happens next. Back to human physiology, this is your colon right here, right? Now, I did not go to medical school. I'm just telling y'all, you can learn this. You need to learn this, because most people, they end up at the hospital, they have no idea what they're looking at. Of course they're going to be afraid. Of course they're going to go with the option that doctors tell them. But why don't you try to fix this early so you don't go see the doctors, right? Over here, let's just say you deal with a left hemicolectomy. The doctors remove a portion of your transverse and also descending portion of the colon. Well, what they're going to do, they're going to rejoin the remaining sections like it's a plug-and-play USB port. There's a lot of plug-and-play when you're dealing with different medical procedures. The more you learn, the more you try to avoid. That's always been my kind of like axiom. Or you're dealing with a colostomy. Doctors remove this disease portion, the tail portion of your descending colon. What happens next? You may be wondering, how does the poop exit out? Well, they're going to install something called a stoma. A stoma is a hole in the abdominal wall which allows waste to leave the body. A colostomy bag attaches to the stoma to collect the waste. That's what happens. You're going to have to manage this bag for the rest of your life, right? And there are young people out there that got this. Young people. You think that this is only the elderly people have to deal with this. Wrong. You go to your local ICU. You take a nice stroll around your local ICU. If you don't believe me, go to 2 hospitals. Go there and go for a nice stroll. And look at how many people actually have the stoma bag installed. Over here, somebody may be dealing with a right hemicolectomy. So the ascending portion of your colon is completely removed. The small intestine usually attaches right here. And over here, this is your appendix. Okay, so the doctors remove this portion completely. and they reattach the remaining sections once again. So the small intestines reattach to this section. Over here on the right, this is called an ileoanal anastomosis. So the doctors remove the colon completely, and they are using the remaining part of your small intestines to create a pouch around the anus. So you can continue to expel waste through the anus, though you'll likely have several watery bowel movements daily. One of the functions of the large intestine is to extract water out of the feces formation. Without that function, you may be wearing adult diapers for the rest of your life. Okay? That's why we learn about these practical pessimisms early, so we can avoid them moving forward. Because if we don't, we're in a lot of trouble. And many people, they're in trouble right now. Let me just double check. Do you have any questions over here? Over here, your colon may begin to take a different form. This lady, she was only 23, and her colon was completely displaced. Your colon should have an ascending, transverse, and a descent. Her colon goes up, loops back down, and loops back up again. Her colon is basically pushing up against her lungs. She may have a lot of trouble breathing just because her colon is completely displaced. And she was only 23. Over here, diverticulitis, also very common. These are pouches or diverticula start to form in the colon. And in the Western population, according to this website, can be seen in 10% of people over the age of 40 and 50% of people over the age of 60. This rate of disease typically increases with age. Scientists believe that this condition is due to not eating enough fibers. Not eating enough fibers leads to constipation, which puts extra pressure on the colon walls. So what are the different signs and symptoms? You have pain, tenderness in the left lower side of the abdomen, nausea, vomiting, chills, cramps in the lower abdomen, constipation or diarrhea, rectal bleeding. Many problems across the board. Now, when people tell you that the reason why you're chronic constipated is because you're not eating enough fiber, it's always somehow your fault for not eating enough fiber. You got to get the situation right by going from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. Get the waste material out first. If you cannot get the waste material out first, how are you going to be eating more fiber on top of chronic constipation? Somebody explain that to me. How are you eating more fiber on top of chronic constipation, and that's going to make you better? So don't believe everything that you say, that you see on the internet. Don't believe everything that I teach. You're going to have to do your own research. You're going to have to make the final decision yourself to see if my protocol is right for you. Ulcerative colitis, also very common. It's inflammation in the colon. Different symptom flare-ups including diarrhea, bloody stools, abdominal cramping. Now what doctors usually do, they're dealing with corticosteroids. They're going to prescribe a lot of corticosteroids for the patient or immunosuppressants, which will get these symptom flare-ups to subside a little bit. But you have to wonder, where's the ulcerative surface coming from? It may be from taking a lot of antibiotics. Many people, they're taking in so many antibiotics, and that's what's causing this ulcerative surface, because the probiotics that provide a protective layer, and when you take a whole bunch of antibiotics, you lose that protective layer. Of course, not professional medical advice. People, they may be dealing with Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease is inflammation in the small and large intestines. Different symptoms including diarrhea, stomach aches or cramps, blood in the stool, tiredness or fatigue, and weight loss. Now, the risk factors may include family history, smoking, antibiotics, birth control pill, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, aspirin, ibuprofen, high-fat diet. I don't care what medications you're taking, there are always risks when you're taking different medications. And as you're taking them, it's going to created such an imbalance in your microbiome, and that chronic constipation is going to begin to set in. As it sets in, you're going to have all these other problems on top of problems because you are straining on the toilet trying to get the waste material out. You may be ending up with a rectal prolapse. Many elderly people have this, but I suspect a lot of young people may have this as well because chronic constipation is a worldwide problem. So many people have it as they're straining on the toilet daily. They're putting a lot of pressure on the rectum, so your anus is actually turning inside out. That's what happens. And some people, they may end up with different abscesses or fistulas. These are infected cavity filled with pus near the anus and rectum. Very, very problematic. And over here, people maybe end up with an anal fissure. This is a crack, a breakage, or splitting in the anus. Could be very painful. Could get infected as well, and that's how people could end up with the abscesses and fistulas. And you probably heard of hemorrhoids, right? I used to be getting the preparation H cream myself. I'm so grateful I no longer have to do it because you gotta fix chronic constipation. If you fix chronic constipation and you're always regular, you're never straining on the toilet, guess what? Your hemorrhoids go away. But no, they don't want to make this simple for you. They want to make it as complicated as possible. Even if you ask your doctor about, why am I getting an anal prolapse or some type of a fissure, they may say things like, while several factors are thought to be linked to rectal prolapse, there's no clear-cut cause. Now, estimated 30% to 67% of patients have chronic constipation, infrequent stools, or severe straining, and an additional 50% diarrhea. In the past, this condition was soon to be linked to giving birth multiple times by vaginal delivery. However, as many as 35% of patients with rectal prolapse never gave birth, and it can occur in men. There might be some genetic predisposition to this condition. In other words, some patients are more prone based on their genes to develop this condition while others don't. Listen, you don't have to believe everything the doctors tell you. They already told you up front. So many patients are dealing with chronic constipation. It's that severe straining, infrequent stools, right? But they always want to say, oh, it's some type of genetic predisposition, okay? You're somehow just cursed with this condition. Why do you learn to fix chronic constipation? Maybe this stuff will go away. Because when you go to your GP or your primary care, you have these problems, they're going to refer you to a proctologist. They want to take you on a whole bunch of detours. But proctologists, these are highly specialized medical doctors, and they are fixing problems around the colorectal area. Now, they're going to examine you. They're going to get their latex gloves up just like this. They're ready to examine you. And they're going to be like, well, I'm looking at some anal fissures, we're looking at a rectal prolapse, some hemorrhoids, but don't worry, I'm going to help you and patch it all up. Do some medical procedures. You guys can YouTube these procedures. You can see exactly what they do. Right? They're going to tell you, okay, if you have a hemorrhoid, if it's an external hemorrhoid, this is what we do. If it's an internal hemorrhoid, this is what we do to patch that up. But you have to ask yourself, have you really solved the root of the problem? If you're still dealing with chronic constipation upstream, your doctor is fixing this portion here, don't you think over time you're going to have the infrequent stools, you're going to continue to strain on the toilet, you're going to develop new hemorrhoids, new anal fissures, new fistulas, new hemorrhoid, all these problems. And that's what they want. I know it sounds terrible, but all my study, all my research, that's my current conclusion. I'm not saying I won't change my conclusion otherwise, but I'm just saying from what I've observed so far, they don't want you to have any lasting solution. They want you to be in that cycle, in and out of the hospital visits, never really resolving the root of your issue. It's always something else. Oh, it's always something else. Take another med. It's always something else. Get another test. You could be doing 5 years of that, still not solving your problem. You could be 10 years into it, still not solving your problem. So over here, I'm just gonna see if my social media got any questions. And I want to make this offer out there. If you want to join my Zoom and go back and forth with me, you let me know. Okay, you can just send me a text in my DMs. My DMs are open, but only for people that are sincere, because there are people that come on. I made the mistake in the past where I just put my link out there and a bunch of scammers, they come on. Okay, it's very, very annoying. So I just want you guys to know my DMs are open. You send me a DM, say you want to come on the Zoom, and I'm going to send you the Zoom link, and you'll be able to log in. So are you guys learning something? What's going on? What are you guys thinking? Is this helping y'all? Who's on my Twitter? Who wants to go on Zoom? So yesterday was crazy. Yesterday, my Twitter said I had like 40 people on, and then nobody said nothing, nobody texted. So I still know if it was actually real. So over here, I want to talk about a lot of other liabilities concerns, so you guys can help avoid them going forward. Now, many people, they've already gone to see their doctors. I don't care if it's primary care, proctology, eye specialist, they still can't fix your problem. So you want to read these. There are so many people that are putting in their questions on a Facebook group, different forums, subreddits, I don't care. They're all over the internet, and they still can't find the solution. Just read this. I'm impacted. All home remedies, OTC laxatives, enemas, dietary changes, additions, nutritional oils quit working last month all of a sudden. The ER couldn't reach it, and their enemas didn't work. The highest doses of lenses does nothing. And the Miralax colonoscopy prep is giving me overflow diarrhea. Small bits are coming off the impaction. Probably from the hospital. Enemas that got Saturday. What else can I do? I feel like the impaction is just way too big to get out, and it seems like nothing is softening enough. Many people are struggling with these. This thought pattern, they can't get the waste material out. So they constantly have this in the back of their minds. Over here, I've been struggling with severe chronic constipation for a couple years now, but it's only gotten worse over the last 6 months or so. I've been prescribed Trulance and lenses, highest doses for both, and neither of these medications are working very well for me at this point. I can pass a little bit of stool, but not much, so I'm constantly extremely backed up. I have to spend about half my waking hours lying down because I'm so bloated and nauseous and often in pain. Can you put yourself in the shoes of this person? Okay, that's what's going to happen if you don't fix chronic constipation. As far as OTC laxatives, nothing really works there either. Docolass, enema, suppositories, magnesium citrate, nothing works. I was supposed to have a colonoscopy today, but couldn't keep the bowel prep down. The procedure had been rescheduled for a month from now. One of the nurses at my GI office prescribed a pill-based cleanse. The pill is called Sutab, and I was warned ahead of time that patients often have trouble completely emptying their bowels with this pill. So given my struggles, I'm doubtful that this will actually work for me. Here's my question. Has anyone here gone to the point where nothing works? Can you see that? This person said it twice. Nothing works. Meds were OTC laxatives and had to have sort of in-the-office medical procedure done. I'm so sick and so miserable. What about professional colonics? I'm not even sure how those work. If anyone has any advice or experience with this, I'd be very grateful if you could share with me what you ended up doing and what the outcome was like. Thank you. Okay? So looking at your digestive system, you want to see it as a collection of pipework. Okay? Just like your house, you have water in and water out. If there's anything clogged up in your toilet, you're in a lot of trouble. Your whole house is going to smell like garbage, smell like trash, smells like poop, right? In some of you, your digestive system is kind of like a clogged up toilet. It is not going out through the sanitary sewer. So today I give you guys a lot of great information for you to look more, investigate even more. I don't care if that's the selfless protocol. I don't care if it's the colon hydrotherapy. Some of you may experience coffee enemas. I've tried those before. I was not successful with things like that. Maybe you'll be successful. You're going to have to keep on finding your way of getting the waste material out. Now, one thing about these enemas or even colon hydrotherapy, it only cleans out your large intestines. Pay attention. A lot of people don't know this. When you're dealing with colon hydrotherapy, it's only cleaning out the large intestine. Once again, what is the large intestine? It is this green section right here in this diagram, the 1.5 meters in length. But notice how your small intestine is much, much longer. It is 4.5 meters, roughly 15 feet. It would be advantageous for you to clean out both the small and large intestines, not just the large intestines. Small intestines is much longer and it has a surface area of a football field. You have so much waste material trapped inside, you have no idea, including microplastics. A lot of you can't absorb anything properly. You may be eating healthy nutritiously, but for some reason, you are still having a whole bunch of problems with your health. Your body cannot assimilate your nutrients properly if your small intestine is caked up with microplastics. Do you guys understand? So I want you guys to put all these pieces together. Let me just check my DMs. You guys, any of you want to jump on my call? The next part, I'm going to talk a little bit about internal parasites, okay? A lot of you ignore or you never even really discuss or learn about this in detail. And many people, you are infected with parasites right now. You just don't know. So you continually have all these different problems and it doesn't get resolved. So today I'm going to talk about internal parasites. Internal parasites are very real. They are not just somehow and only limited to third world countries. Most people, they think that I live in a first world country. I live in Germany, live in Switzerland, United States, Australia, Canada. Never happened to me here. Wrong. Parasites are extremely common. They are in your Whole Foods Market salmon. You can find them in your Costco salmon. I mean, there are 800 stores worldwide, right? They are definitely in foods all over the world. Many people are eating undercooked meats, okay, or even raw meats, such as sushi, sashimi. People, they buy this and take it home and they have sushi parties. That's what they do. Now, a lot of these worms, they're very small, or the eggs, you won't be able to see them with your natural eye. So as you consume these things raw, well, parasites, they know how to do two things very well. They know how to survive, they know how to replicate inside your body. There is a museum in Japan. It has 60,000 specimens of parasites in this one museum. Over in the US, they have a US National Parasite Collection. It's got over 100,000 specimens. And every single year, they find new specimens, they find new parasites. Every single year, they always find some new animal, some new type of a fish. And as they're learning about this new organism, they're also learning about different parasites that can attack this organism. Today I'm going to discuss 4 parasites that are very, very common, also often overlooked in modern society, and they don't want you to know about internal parasites. I'll tell you that. And these are full-blown organisms. These are not single-cell protozoans. You have to look under a microscope. No, nothing like that. You can see these grow to very big sizes. I'm going to explain. This is liver fluke. Okay, this is a form of a flatworm. Over here, this is a pinworm. Over here, this is a tapeworm. Over here, this is a roundworm. Okay, you want to study these one by one. And don't take my word for it. You guys go to the library yourself. Go pick up some books on parasitology. Go talk to your local professors. There are some people in academia, that's what they study full time. Why don't you go learn from these guys, right? No, I did my best. I'm looking from different medical texts, different PubMeds, and this is what I discovered. So these liver flukes, they hatch in water. This is your life cycle. They always work their way up through the food chain. What they do, they first attack some type of an intermediary host, such as a snail. They're going to extract the nutrients out of the snail to grow to a certain size. After they grow to a certain size, they will land on some vegetation. After you land on this vegetation, an animal such as a cow or a sheep comes over and consumes this vegetation, and that's how this liver fluke continues to survive. You guys can talk to anybody that is in ranching. This could be in Idaho, Colorado, North, South Dakota, Montana, Texas. This could be Australia, New Zealand, anywhere where there's farming, ranching. They deal with this every single year. They have to take medications. Their livestock have to take medications. Otherwise, they get incredibly sick. They're over here. Why are they called liver flukes? They're called liver flukes because they love to attack your liver. Your liver is a storehouse of nutritional value. It stores vitamins and minerals. It regulates blood sugar levels. So for the liver fluke, your liver has a lot of nutritional value. So that's why they target that liver. They're going to consume your liver cells, and they are going to continue to survive and replicate inside of you. That's what they do. That's what they do best. Okay? And if you're eating a lot of rare meats, you're fascinated watching the Food Network, you want to try steak tartare. This is the French version, this is the Korean version, or you like to eat Korean barbecue. Listen, I can put down a lot of food. Ask anybody I know. Okay? Anybody that knows me know I can put down so much food. I can go to a buffet all by myself. Dude, I would just stay there for hours at a time just to eat. Okay? That's how much I enjoy eating. Now, if you're eating a lot of different intestinal products, that's going to carry a lot of risk. Some people, some places in the world, you're interested in eating, small intestines of pork, okay? Different intestinal products, very common here in Asia. I no longer eat it. You can ask anybody that has to clean this intestinal tract every single day. They're going to find worms. People are eating a lot of sushi, sashimi, a lot of worms. Hot pot, a lot of worms, okay? And many people, they're not cooking the meats thoroughly because maybe the elderly people, they have bad teeth. They have bad teeth, so they're like, oh, I'm just gonna cook this, very, very half-assed. Well, they're consuming a lot of parasites. So their body, as you're getting weaker and weaker, the parasites continue to survive and replicate. Tapeworms are also very common. You'll be able to find them in beef, also find them in pork meats, also find them in fish, right? So this is what they look like. This is the head, and it consists of this rostellum. This is their teeth, basically. It latches onto your small and large intestines. It consumes, it robs you of your nutrient resources. And these things over here, these are different suckers that they have. And what the suckers do, it gives them a very good foothold on the intestinal walls. This is their powerful reproductive system. Tapeworms, they are hermaphrodites, okay? They are always just consuming your resource. They're always multiplying on top of you. These are called progonids. Progonids is where they have their eggs. So a beef tapeworm, they may have 1,000 progonids. Each progonid can hold 100,000 eggs. If you do the simple math, you're dealing with 100 million eggs just from one beef tapeworm. One. So people are having all these intestinal obstructions where they're taking laxatives, nothing is working. Though this is my idea, I'm thinking, listen, they have so many tapeworms, roundworms, whatever, liver flukes inside of them, causing the intestinal obstruction. Not only that, the chronic inflammation. So somebody pulled out a tapeworm that is close to 60 feet. 60. Close to 18 meters. Think about it. If you're taking notes, tapeworm, 18 meters, 60 feet. Okay? Many different parasites also end up in your pets. Over here, this owner is pulling out a tapeworm out of their cat. And this American bully, it is just spewing out a whole bunch of roundworms. Alright? You're going to have a lot of risks if you have pets. Because many of you don't look into this. And you're very close with your pets. And you let them lick you all over their face. You have no idea what your dog's been up to all day. Especially if a dog that goes in and out. Or if you have a cat that goes in and out of the house. Some dogs are so stupid, they eat the feces of other dogs. And these cats, they might be out there hunting rats, hunting squirrels, hanging out with possums. You have no idea. And when they come back, you come back home from work, you had a hard day at work, and now you're just being super close to them. And these parasites are going to get into your system. Because parasites don't care. As long as there are resources to extract, they're going to do it. As long as you provide an environment for them to survive and replicate, they're going to do it. Over here, later on, you may even develop something called cysticercosis in the liver. So liver flukes attack your liver. Now you have these different cysts inside your liver, or you might get cysticercosis in your muscles. Some people, they get different epileptic seizures or severe headaches. They go to the doctor. Doctors does this MRI scan. Doctors tell them you have something called neurocysticercosis. What is this? These are cysts left by tapeworms. So tapeworms are basically eating their brain cells. This is what happens if you let it sit. Pinworms are very common. According to PubMed, this is affecting close to 1 billion people worldwide from all socioeconomic classes. This is not just a third world problem. This is a first world problem. And these are roundworms. Roundworms are very common in your pets. And if you're raising ducks or even rabbits as pets, you may get roundworms, okay, very easily. This is another example of intestinal obstruction from roundworms. So this guy, doctor detected, found out he has a lot of roundworms inside of him. So they had to pull it out of his large intestines. You see what I mean? This is not Animal Planet. This is not somebody just... This is a real person. He was having stomach aches and cramps, nausea, swollen lymph nodes, digestive problems, unexplained constipation, skin conditions, rashes, eczema, hives, itching. Parasites can cause it because parasites are causing so much disruption in your body. So not only are these parasites extracting resources from you, they're also expelling their waste material. They still have to use the bathroom, right? Where do they use the bathroom? right inside your digestive tract. So you got that chronic inflammation happening again and again. But when you go to the doctor and you tell them about this, they're going to most likely mock you. They're going to gaslight you. They're going to not going to take you serious, because most doctors, they don't even deal with this. Let me tell you, most doctors know very little about internal parasites. I want you guys to go on YouTube later for your homework. You go on YouTube and I want you guys to watch this video. This video is called, Animal Planet, Liver Fluke. This lady, she was struggling with whole sorts of digestive problems for years. Okay? She was at the ER. At the ER, they ran all these tests. And they told her, we can't find anything wrong with you. Over here, this is one I want you to watch. Parasites eat at a woman's liver, causing agonizing pain. So this is a small little documentary you guys can watch. Monsters Inside Me. There's a whole series. Monsters Inside Me. I want you guys to really study this up. Because many of you may not be in a dire situation like this lady, but you're already showing the early signs, okay? And it could be parasites. That's what I wanted to put this on the top of your mind. And I also think there is a lot of false negatives that return when people, they go for parasite detection, parasite tests. You may get a much better reading if you come over to Asia. In Asia, these kids, when they go to school, they are being tested. And they find if they have different worms, right? And they give them the medication for these different worms. So what you guys got to do, study them up, work with your doctor, naturopathic doctor, work with your integrated medicine, work with somebody that has experience dealing with internal parasites. Don't deal with a doctor that just mocks you, okay? I'm going to go over some herbs that could be very helpful in eliminating internal parasites. If you're on my Twitter, let me know if you want to jump on the Zoom. You can hop on the Zoom if you send me a DM, okay? I'm going to check on my messages here real quick. So today I'm going to spin through some of these medications or herbal blends. So clove bud could be a very helpful herb in your research. There are many different herbs out there that's shown to be very effective against different worms. Okay, this is wormwood. Wormwood, another traditional herbal medicine to treat different parasitic infections. This is mebazidol. In many parts of the world, this is OTC. You don't even need a prescription. Shown to be effective against roundworms, whipworms, pinworms, and hookworms. There are many different tinctures or herbal blends. Black walnut and wormwood tincture combination. This is mebazidol that I buy here in Asia. This is another wormwood combination. This is in pill form. For your dogs, you may get something called Panicure C, but you also want to work with a vet to make sure, because sometimes dogs, they take this and they can get incredibly sick. For your cats, you may work with Frontline or Advocate. Of course, you got to work with your vet, right? And some of you may be severely infected with different parasites. I'm talking about single-cell protozoans. If you're dealing with single-cell protozoans, you're going to have to work with prescription strength medications, such as albendazole or something else your doctor recommends. What I want to discuss is that there are many different products in the market when it comes to parasite cleanses. And you want to be smart. You want to work with your doctors and find the winning combination for you. Now, for me, how I got it done was I worked with just one at a time. I realized that I probably had many different parasites, and I want to go through them, cycle through them one by one, okay? And eliminating parasites is going to be about a 2-3 month process, because from my research, a lot of these herbs or even medications, they're not effective against the eggs. They're only effective against adult larvae. You guys understand? So there's a process where you're eliminating all these raw foods, raw meats, undercooked meats, right? You're not eating any of that stuff. So you're not adding more new parasites into your body. And while you're doing the parasite cleanse, you're just being very, very consistent. And if you're doing my protocol, it's very likely you're going to flush out dead parasites. It's going to be very likely you're going to flush out the eggs out of the body, because my protocol cleans out both the small and large intestines. There are parasites that exist inside both the small and large intestines. So I don't recommend people doing a parasite cleanse right away. First, they need to know and understand how their digestive system works, and they can use something such as the salt flush protocol that I discussed earlier in my presentation. They can get all the waste material out. They can be very, very consistent, kind of like riding a bike, where they can expect this diarrhea tsunami to happen every single time they perform this detox protocol. So later on, if they were to do parasite detox, they can be sure they can flush out all the dead parasites out. Some people may jump into a parasite cleanse, but now they have chronic constipation. On top of that, they have dead parasites sitting inside their digestive tract. You see what I mean? I don't want you to compound your problems. Why don't we do detox in stages? First, understand how your digestive system works. From there, we are getting the waste material out. We can get the situation from the picture on the left to the picture on the right on a consistent basis. Then we talk about eliminating internal parasites. Does that make a lot more sense? Show me some hearts. You guys can double tap. Let me know if you guys are here. So I want to introduce myself a little bit. Maybe you guys have been watching this for a while now. You don't know who I am. My name is John. I teach weight loss. Okay, I also teach detox. I primarily teach detox and weight loss. This was me before. I had a lot of weight issues. Even though I was at the gym, I was diligently working out. I had a personal trainer. I had a workout plan. I was not getting any real results. I look like this basically all year round, without that much effort, because I know how to clean myself from the inside. So I have a program. I teach people how to get this done. Okay? And some people, they watch my free videos online. They're getting a lot of great results with it, and they purchase my program right after. If you commit to my program, these are some of the benefits that people are saying. They're experiencing weight loss, improved digestive health, increased energy levels, enhanced self-confidence, reduced brain fog, better body odor control. This is huge. A lot of you may have poor body odor control. I'll tell you why. You have a lot of waste material sitting inside of you right now. It's not going out. Where do you think it's going to go? It's going to exude or ooze through your skin. It's going to ooze through your lymphatic system. Your clothes are going to smell horrendously. Doesn't matter what type of detergents you use. Anytime that you sweat, anytime that you're getting around people just have to somehow put up with you because how nasty you smell. But nobody tells you. All I'm telling you, if you have chronic constipation, you have the worst body odor. People improved their confidence in their appearance, improved overall health, long-term wellness. Okay? So some people, they did my protocols just watching my free videos like you are right now. And you have told me so much. Just purchase your program, support me. Thank you and many blessings to you. Appreciate you, Nate. Okay, this is my friend in Italy, my friend from Malaysia, people buying my programs. I've taught this program in Chinese, also in English. If you're wondering, if you need people that need help in Chinese, I can teach them this in Chinese. I do have my videos in Chinese. So I'm going to leave my link. I want you guys to get this. It will be very helpful for y'all to invest in your own health. Watching a free video like this is not going to help you that much. Because you think, oh, there's no value in this because it's free, right? Not only that, I want you guys to consider joining a community of people that's also interested in detox. There's a lot of y'all, you just don't take any action. You can watch all the videos online, you download all the PDFs, and a couple months pass by, guess what happens? A whole lot of nothing. Because you have no momentum, you don't invest time into things that you don't invest into, right? So I have a school, you guys also check that out. Inside my school, I have a lot of different programs, and it can get. But I want to talk to you guys. Who's actually here listening to my presentation? Who wants to jump on the call with me? That would be very, very, I would say, that's what I want to talk. That's what I want to do now. Right now it's like Q&A. If you want to jump on this call, send me a DM, either on Twitter, X, or on Instagram, and I'll be able to send you my Zoom link, okay? Da, da, da. So you guys, I also offer one-on-one coaching. Depending on what situation you're at, you guys can get on a call with me. Kind of want to find out what is your state of health, okay? And kind of craft a plan together, because everyone's a little bit different. Everyone's at different starting points. And if you're on my YouTube, let me know if you guys want to jump on the call. Who's here? Where from? I've already did the presentation. It's over an hour, okay? But right now it's just for Q&A. So I was looking to see if anybody want to jump on the call. I'll be here for a little bit. But I'm gonna go take myself a break, okay? I'll be back. So insert. Jansport. Y'all be patient with me. This is Q&A. You guys have any questions? I'll be right back in a little bit. Give me 10 minutes. All right. Anybody has any questions? Anybody on my YouTube? Yeah, I'm gonna stay on for a little bit more. If there aren't any questions, I'm gonna close down. So anybody that's on YouTube, you want to jump on my Zoom call, you let me know. Alright, fellas, I don't think I'm seeing any questions. So you guys have an amazing rest of your day. And I'll talk to you guys later.